Africa, one government, one currency, one army, one law. Go Africa.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of you, dear lovely family, dear friends, fellow Africans here in the continent, and to those who are in the diaspora. Don't skip the video. Today have another good news from Burkina Faso. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the president of Burkina Faso, continue to take steps toward its implementation. This time without taking any loans, without asking aid from Trump, without pleasing Trump to restore aid. Captain Ibrahim Traoré has handed over an important batch of agricultural equipment that will be used to carry out arrangements to make the water resources and the feed available to support and increase agricultural production. My dear lovely family, Burkina Faso is not waiting the world for changes. Burkina Faso is changing itself.
Who will follow?
Yes, welcome back, my dear lovely family. This is not just only about agriculture or about this mobile clinics or mobile hospital. This is just about restoring the dignity of Africans all around the world. My dear lovely family, you may ask yourself why other countries are not doing the same. Maybe Captain Ibrahim Traoré is getting money from somewhere. Maybe. But all in all, my dear lovely family, dear friends, fellow Africans, it needs political wills, it needs decisions, and that's what Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing. I was listening a little bit from President Paul Kagame. I spoke in one thing that is very, very important, that Africans, we have resources, and these resources are those who made others rich and others developed. But these resources cannot make Africans rich. What's wrong with us? So let us listen a little bit from Mr. Kagame. Then I will come back to you and then I will share another issue. Yes, that is Mr. Kagame. Of course, that's the question that I always have been asking myself, that why America can use these resources and become rich, and Africans, we cannot use these resources to become rich. If Chinese can come in this continent and take these resources, at the end of the day, become a developed country, what's make us difficult for Africans to use the same resources that made Chinese or made China, America rich? Why we can't use the same resources to make Africa rich? So that is a question that I think all of us, we need to ask ourselves. What's wrong with us, the people of Africa? Because if it's about gold, this is a gold that made others rich. If it's about critical minerals, these are critical minerals that we have here that have made others superpower. Why don't we, as the people of Africa, use our resources? What are we lacking? What are we lacking? Let us ask our question. I think that's the critical question that we need to ask ourselves as the people of Africa. What do we lack if we compare Africans with Russia? What do we lack if we compare Africa with America? If we compare Europeans with Africa, Southern Americans with Africa, Chinese with Africa. What's the difference? Why these civilization or other civilization are coming to Africa, taking our resources and become rich, while we Africans, we have these resources and we are still poor? So I think we need to have our own discussion that is going to see what we can do with our resources. And that's why you see Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing wonders. He has decided to take another path. He cannot wait the world to tell us what to do. You see, I think it needs political wills, it needs decisions, it needs commitments. And that's what Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing. Within a short time, we see how this young man is doing wonders. If you talk about industries are being made and built in Burkina Faso. If you talk about technologies, we have seen young people being innovators, trying to create things. If it's about integrity, you are talking about this man in Burkina Faso. I think other African countries, we need to take the same steps. You know, as President Kagame said, for instance, you take example of Congo, that ask yourself, what Congo lack? Congo has everything. It's the richest resources country in the world. But do you think Congo need to go to the IMF? Does Congo need the World Bank or this Bretton Woods institution for money? I think Congo has everything. The problem that we have, always have, I will say this, we don't work together. We don't work together. We are so divided in such a way we cannot use our resources. I think this is the time for Africa to come together. My dear lovely family, dear friends, fellow Africans, what Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing is amazing and must be supported. So we are going to see Captain Ibrahim Traoré and Burkina Faso supporting other African countries and being a donor country. I know there are those who don't want Africa to be powerful, but the time will come when they will have nothing to do, because what Captain Ibrahim Traoré is doing is just amazing thing. We have seen Ethiopia doing amazing things. Africans, we are doing amazing things. The problem, we are working individually. We are working separately. I think this is the time for Africa to come together. We need to unite. We need to see how we can use our resources. I know those who don't want Africa to develop, they will not accept this concept. Have listening President Kagame talking another issue, the issue of how America, of course, that time removed Rwanda from AGOA. Other leaders, of course, the leaders in the East African community agreed that we are now going to develop our own textile industries, but and we must stop importing these second-hand clothes. But others being threatened by these powerful countries and say you should not stop to receive these second-hand clothes. What does this mean? This means that those who are providing these second-hand clothes, they are growing their industries, you see. But we Africans who are receiving, we cannot grow in textile industries. So when Kagame tried to come up with upside down of that tactic, you see what happened to him. Listen what happened to him. And this is made me to understand that these things that happening in DRC, it's because Kagame has ideas, and these people don't want the ideas of President Kagame. Yes, Kagame has problems, as people sometimes said. He's a human being, I agree. But when you come up with ideas that will liberate Africans, you are the enemy. You remember what happened to Gaddafi. And Africans who don't want to accept this issue. People are lazy, and sometimes they don't want to hear the truth that what causing problem in DRC is not about Kagame. But people, because they have already fed to think that what the Europeans are telling us is the truth, all people are saying, Kagame is taking minerals. Let me tell you, my dear brothers and sisters, listen to you heard about Democratic Republic of Congo talking about taking apple into court. Is it Kagame's apple? No. You see, people are taking minerals in DRC. It is not about Kagame. And I have been asking the question, who assassinated the party's Emily Lumumba and why they did so? Because Lumumba came with the idea, the same idea Captain Ibrahim Traoré has. He said, we are going to control our resources. We want the people of Democratic Republic of Congo, at that time Zaire, to enjoy the fruits of their products, of their resources. But then what happened? Poverty in the continent of Africa. What is behind all the challenges facing our leaders? Sometimes when they want to take decisive decisions, they found threat, they're being blackmailed, as you heard from President Kagame. And it's not only Kagame. You remember last year, my dear lovely family, when Captain Ibrahim Traoré survived almost more than 20 assassination attempts. You see? So they don't want people who have idea. The people who have idea, they are the enemies of those who are exploiters. So all of us, the people of Africa, we must protect our leaders. We need to protect our leaders. And of course, I've been saying this many times. They use democracy, they use political parties to destabilize and sometimes to assassinate our leaders. We must not accept, and that's why we have been suggesting that we need a new governance system in the continent of Africa. Maybe the current system is not good. It's because this system that we have has been imposed by those who are now telling us these leaders are not good, these leaders are staying in power for too long, these leaders are doing this and that, but are those who imposed this system. And they imposed the system to make sure that Africa will never see peace. You see, what's happening in Sudan right now is terrible. What's happening in Democratic Republic of Congo is amazing. What's happening in Sahel, what's happening in Libya. So Africa, we are being affected by thinking that there's someone who will come and help us. My dear lovely family, dear friends, fellow Africans, no one is there who will come to save us. It's we Africans who are here in the continent collaborating to our brothers and sisters who are in the diaspora, who need to come back home and see how we can do to make sure that we are moving from this situation to another position. I think we have good people, we have intelligent people, we have people with capacities. If you go everywhere in the world, you'll find Africans doing amazing things. Africans are working in everywhere. We are the people who are innovators. For instance, recently I shared the video, of course, about innovation in Burkina Faso, innovation in Ethiopia, innovation in Zimbabwe, in Tanzania, in Uganda, Rwanda itself, Niger, everywhere. If you go to Nigeria, you find people are doing very well. You go to Kenya, you go to Zimbabwe there, you go to South Africa, you go to Namibia. Everywhere you go, you find that Africans are doing well. But the problem is one, and this is a problem that Africa, we don't appreciate our innovators. We don't protect our engineers. We don't protect our geniuses. And that's why sometimes they've been taken to Europe, and sometimes we discourage them. Instead of supporting them, we become discouraged. This political system is the things that are making Africa poor. We need to change to find the new governance systems. And I hope those who are in power must find the way how the people can participate in a development. Instead of, we Africans, we have been participating only in election. When it comes to election issues, you find that politicians are inviting us, are trying to hear from us. But look, for instance, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, when the world commemorated the International Women's Day, Captain Ibrahim Traoré went to the village to meet with Lulu women to understand what is their challenges. You see, that is the difference. But if you find some politicians, for instance, we have several politicians here in the continent of Africa, what they do is to mobilize the wives of people who are working in government. They're trying to sugarcoat things, but we need to go on the field to understand the challenges of the people. So democrats, these Western systems have destroyed Africa. We need our new systems that will help Africans to do what is good for us. We need Africans to participate. And of course, Africans, we are genius. So they know very well. That's why they're contradicting us. So my dear lovely family, dear friends, fellow Africans, I hope you have something to share with us. Please do like that. Do so. Make sure that you share your views, your opinions through the comment section. And also, you may share the video to other Africans to know that things is going well in the continent of Africa. We are no longer only beggars. We are going to be donor country. What I see in Burkina Faso in the near future, if things will continue like this, if this Western power not interfere, and if we, the people of Africa, will come together to protect this young man, Burkina Faso is going to become a donor country. I see not only Burkina Faso, many African countries are going to be the donor countries. We are going to support these countries, and these countries are poor. They depend on Africa. They depend on Africa for everything. They depend on our minerals. They depend on our water. They depend even our people. They depend our manpower. Many of our people are working out there. I have seen many advertisements. If you want to go to work in maybe doctors, to work in somewhere. If you are a teacher, you want to go to work. If you are someone, you want to go in Arab countries. You see what they are doing. So Africans, we are working everywhere. And we are the builder of this world. So, my dear lovely family, let me not speak for too long. Let me see you next time. of course, go in peace and make sure that you become strong when you meet other civilization, because we have everything to do as strong men and women. So my dear lovely family, up to that, let me say thank you. Have a nice time. Thank you for watching. And make sure that you share the video to other Africans here in the continent and to those who are in the diaspora, so that they can understand what is going on right now in the continent of Africa. Africa is rising. Africans are doing wonders. This time we are going to write our own history, and that's what we are doing. And we are going to change the narratives. My dear lovely family, dear friends, fellow Africans, stay safe. See you next time. Thank you.